I adore Wales Interactive and their pursuit of FMV adventure games, which I buy all of them and lap them up. One of their most recent ones was 5 Dates that came out during the pandemic, and it shed a light on online dating in a pandemic world. Flash forward to 2023, and not only did I enjoy that, we've got a sequel in 10 Dates, which takes a look at speed dating instead. The idea here is that there's more interaction, more choices, and more things that can go right or wrong with your suitors. You get the choice to play as Misha or Ryan, and then each of them goes on 5 speed dates, asking a couple of questions of their suitors, and then seeing which ones they want to go on a second date with, and potentially a third one to kick off a relationship. It's very similar to the original 5 Dates formula, but instead of having it all online and that being quite often part of the drama, some of the conversations are a bit more naturalistic because you're face to face with someone, and so that initial awkwardness is probably all the more plain to see with people, as you have nowhere to run and hide and no camera to point at only the good bits. 10 Dates offers a plethora of characters, and each one has its own unique and interesting spin on things, which I really, really enjoyed. Misha and Ryan work really well as a duo of friends who come back at the end of each kind of round to have a chat on their phone or in the pub in person, and some of their kind of interactions feel unscripted and off the cuff and really quite enjoyable to watch. And Rosie Day and Charlie Mayer, who play those characters, really nail a good adult friendship where they're supporting of each other and cheering each other on whilst throwing in some banter at the same time. All of the characters have their own rounded traits too. So you have, for instance, Derek is the hoster of the speed dating events, but actually has a bit of a rocky past that he's trying to get over. Azalea is one that likes occult and spiritual things, and typically has an Etsy store. Of course she does. She kind of brings out her own goblet and revels in her quirkiness. Brandy is much more the interesting entrepreneur, but also it girl who has no time for bollocks and will cut to the chase very quickly. Whereas Ty is someone who's actually a bit up his own snout, and although he brings the banter, is also the bad boy, but can he also be tamed, and should he be tamed at the same time? Tony is the lads type of girl because she's a soccer fiend but also a heart of gold, whereas Lucas is someone who is so buried in technology that he doesn't really know how to function with real humans and is totally shy. Kathleen is the bookish teachery type who feels like she wants to let her hair down but doesn't know how, whilst Hazel feels like she lives for her peers and not for herself. Then you've got Mr. Oh So Nice, but is it too nice and too plain Jake? And then the lads Bash, who actually has quite a tragic past behind him. All of these different people have tons of things to offer, and the beauty behind this is that they're all likeable in their own weird and wonderful way. And even the ones that start off quite antagonistic and a bit like chip on the shoulder come round and have a nice hollow side. And some of the ones that come across initially really, really nice actually have a darker past that they're trying to recover from. So everyone kind of has this nice medium ground where no one is perfect, no one gets to hide their flaws by date 3. And so it feels like you're making a meaningful connection as you're moving through all of these different events. The kind of downside to this, I'd say, is that it's quite easy to spot where the conversations are going and to manipulate the conversations in such a way that you can get really, really easy results and get through to date 3 with someone at least each and every time that you do it. The trade-off I'd say for that is that 10 Dates is very, very enjoyable, and so I wouldn't go into this thinking, oh my god, it's going to be a cerebral puzzle and I need to pick apart everything. Go into this for the laughs, the stupidity, also seeing how you can muck up a date, because there's somewhere between 70 to 100 scenes for each character as you move through them. And depending on some of the stuff that you set up on your dating app to begin with, in the terms of the different like interests that you have, such as travel or technology or food and drink, that kind of thing, will slightly shape some of the responses that you have with other people that like those topics or not. So there's lots of replayability here to see where different conversations pan out. But if you're looking for like really, really hard conversations to read and to pick apart the bones of each conversation, you're probably not going to find that here. This is more for the comedic, heartwarming, rom-com style FMV fun that came with 5 dates. 10 dates is more of the same, done just as well. Everyone acts really, really well, and it's just a really fun, well put together experience. It would take you about 5 or 6 hours to get through to the platinum itself. I really like the fact that they've now just implemented this streamer mode where the game pauses so that you can make decisions instead of feeling pressured in real time as well. I think that actually makes for a better experience. It also means that as a streamer you can play this collectively with friends and try and get up a poll alongside and vote collectively as a team. I had great fun with 10 dates, recommend it to anyone that enjoys silly, lightweight FMV adventure games. And yeah, keep them coming, Wales Interactive, because I will buy them every day of the week. Take care. Higher Plane Games is part of the Higher Plane Network, a completely independent media outlet supported by people like you. The goal is to create the best possible content that cultivates a richer indie scene for games as well as music and entertainment. To find out more and to get involved, visit patreon.com/higherplane network. Your support makes all the difference, and in return you'll gain access to bonus content and downloads. Thank you for watching.